Hello, the internet. This is your boy, Jeremiah Phillips, speaking. Let's talk about Curious George, huh? Created by Margaret and H.A. Ray, Curious George is considered to be one of the most popular children's books characters of all time. Naturally, a film adaptation of the books would be in play. However, this film actually had a rocky development as it went through different directors like Brad Bird, had a much darker tone, and was originally going to be a 3D live-action hybrid. It wasn't until 2004 when director Matthew O'Callaghan took it and turned it into the 2006 2D film we all know. And when it was released, it only did alright, I guess. Critics were pretty okay at it, and it didn't really do well at the box office. However, that's not to say that this film was a failure at all, as its album became one of the best-selling albums of all time for an animated film, thanks to songs by Jack Johnson. And the film itself did help revamp the popularity of Curious George itself, with a TV series in the same year that's still airing, 5 more sequels, a Broadway show, and even more. So let's get monkey. This is Curious George. George is a very curious monkey living in Africa. He loves to have fun and make friends, but the older animals disapprove of his behavior. Meanwhile, the Museum of Natural History is on the verge of bankruptcy, so one of the employees, Ted, volunteers to search of the lost shrine of Zagadawa, but the museum's owner's son doesn't like this idea and screws up the journey in order for him to replace the museum for a parking lot. While on his expedition, Ted finds out that the idol is only 3 inches tall and not 40 feet tall. Plus, he also meets George as well. George then follows Ted back to New York in order to return his hat. Now Ted has to deal with both the idol problem and taking care of the monkey, which will be a problem considering that George is a very mischievous monkey that can let his curiosity get the best of him. This is a very charming and endearing film that always makes me smile every time I watch it. The heart of this film is easily George itself. George is such an endearing and likable main character because he's so cute and is very curious about the world he lives in. This leads to some really adorable and sometimes hilarious moments. Another admirable aspect of the movie is the relationship between Ted and George. Seeing these two bond together can lead to some really heartwarming and sweet moments, especially towards the third act after Ted loses George to animal control. Ted can't stop thinking about him and all the good times they had, so he decides to rescue him. The animation itself is absolutely gorgeous, and keep in mind, this is a 2D anime film released in 2006. During that time, companies like DreamWorks and Disney already gave up on hand-drawn animation, so the fact that it was done in 2D animation is really amazing. It has very well-drawn characters, smooth and fluid animations, and very vibrant colors, and a strong use of light that gives the film a unique look. Plus, it does blend CGI very well, for the most part. There are some times where it can look a bit wonky. The songs by Jack Johnson are also really good. Not the greatest, but they do fit the tone of the film very well, and they are catchy to listen to. In conclusion, I really enjoyed this film very well. I wouldn't say it's the greatest film of all time, but I still had a lot of fun with it, nonetheless. I give it an 8 out of 10. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.